Hello, good morning, everyone, online and here in the room. Welcome to our poster session, online poster session on gender and social innovations. Can you hear me well? Also online, maybe you just quickly give me a thumbs up or unmute yourself. Can you hear me, Farai, Salom, Pedro?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. Okay, thank you so much. Well, I would say, I think we have 8 presenters today. I just directly start with the first presentation that we received from Farai Alice on how mobile apps are transforming smallholder agriculture. And I will quickly share the video.
Bildschirm. Fenster. Bildschirmshare, nicht Fenster.
Ach so, jetzt soll ich den ganzen Anfang.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Farai Guelo, and I'll be speaking about how mobile apps are transforming smallholder agriculture in South Africa, and specifically speaking about how smallholder farmers are appropriating non-agricultural mobile apps, such as Facebook and WhatsApp, for the advancements of their own interests and for pursuing their own agricultural goals. Smallholder farmers in South Africa face a myriad of challenges, such as limited access to information, limited access to inputs, and limited access to commodity markets, among other challenges. And there's growing recognition of all of these impediments that smallholder farmers face within their agricultural journeys. Hence, there's growing focus on mobile apps as a possible way to improve smallholder access to vital agricultural information, input, and commodity markets. And in this way, it is envisaged that these challenges that smallholder farmers can finally be addressed. Hence, this study sought to critically examine the ways in which mobile apps are transforming agriculture for smallholder farmers in South Africa, looking at whether or not they indeed are helping to address these challenges, and if so, how. This study followed a multiple case study methodology and was guided by the critical theory of technology and self-determination theory. 4 mobile apps were selected to make the cases in this study. 42 smallholder farmers, 4 mobile app administrators, and 1 extension officer were interviewed for this study. Data analysis was conducted using Atlas TI, and films were generated from the literature review and from the data. The findings of this study show that smallholder farmers exercise their agency to appropriate Facebook and WhatsApp groups for exchanging agricultural information and linking each other to informal markets. On the screenshot from one Facebook group there, we can see that a young farmer is advertising her eggs on the Facebook group platform. And we have a quotation from yet another member of the group who says, "Because I'm in this Facebook group with many farmers, it's easier for me to advertise my day-old chicks because others are there to sell and some are there to buy. So it's better to advertise using this type of platform." So this shows that the user-generated content affordances of Facebook and WhatsApp groups enable the creation of spaces where smallholder farmers converge and exchange valuable information as well as link each other to markets or connect with markets. Farmers utilize Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups to connect to informal markets where they have control over the pricing of their commodities. And this reflects a defiance of traditional reliance on formal markets where they are price takers and highlights smallholder farmers' assertion of control and autonomy over their agricultural marketing activities. A highlight is that mobile apps can only be appropriated to the extent to which the design permits, whereby mobile apps which do not permit user-generated content limit farmers' ability to adapt the apps to suit their specific needs and contexts. So it is important that the apps have the suitable affordances to support this appropriation by farmers. In conclusion, apps that permit user-generated content empower smallholder farmers from being passive consumers of technology into active participants that shape their digital engagement to meet their specific needs and goals. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Farai, for this interesting presentation. And well, as the presenter is also online, I'm happy to receive some questions and maybe Farai can answer them. Are there any questions?
So I would like to know, is it a certain age group that uses these mobile apps, so especially young women and men farmers, or is it also people like 40 years plus? What's your experience?
Can you hear us, Farai? Farai?
Thank you very much for that question. So from the research, we found that most of the users of Facebook and WhatsApp are young people, although we do find, by young people, I mean those under the age of 40, but we did find that also there are older people on there, up to as much as over the age of 60, like around 65 years old, who are also on these apps, particularly on WhatsApp. We found a much older group of farmers, and on Facebook, there was a younger group of farmers. So this presents an opportunity then to say that there is, an opportunity to advance digital literacy among the older group of farmers because we see an interest there. And WhatsApp, I believe, is so much simpler to use. That's why we find more of them on there than Facebook. So I believe that digital literacy would have us see even a larger number of the older farmers using these technologies. Thank you.
Thank you, Farai. We directly have to continue. We didn't receive a contribution from Evelyn Compaore, so that's why we directly jump to Eljo Daci.
My name is Elio Dazzi, and together with my co-authors, I welcome you to our poster entitled AlbaMap, Promoting Optimal Medicinal and Aromatic Plants Cultivation in Albania. The AlbaMap project is a significant Albanian-German research initiative focused on advancing the cultivation of medicinal and aromatic plants in Albania, with particular attention to sage and lemon balm. These plants are key exports for Albania, but the country lacks modern cultivation techniques. To address this, the AlbaMap employs a science-to-field approach based on three essential pillars. Pillar 1 is centered around scientific research aimed at expanding knowledge about the cultivation of sage and lemon balm in Albania. This involves a detailed investigation into how abiotic stresses like water availability and nutrient levels impact biomass production and the yield of essential oils. The research will also explore the interaction between these crops and their environment over time and across different locations. By understanding these factors, the project aims to develop more effective cultivation strategies that can be tailored to Albania's specific conditions. Pillar 2 focuses on engaging stakeholders, particularly local farmers and agricultural experts, right from the beginning. The idea is to combine scientific insights with traditional knowledge, ensuring that the research is both practical and relevant to those who will ultimately use it. The Albanian partner, AgroMap, plays a vital role in this pillar by providing research fields, collaborating in scientific field experiments, and identifying potential stakeholders. They also assist in collecting primary data through farmer interviews, extracting essential oils, and setting up demonstration plots. These plots will showcase the project's findings and innovation to the public. facilitating knowledge exchange and encouraging the adoption of new practices. Pillar 3 is dedicated to developing and refining a site-specific control and prediction system that can optimize irrigation and fertilization practices. Initial experiments in both greenhouse and field settings have already begun, with a drip irrigation system installed to test optimal fertilization and watering strategies for sage and lemon balm. A first version of the CPS has been developed and implemented in the field, allowing for automated irrigation control based on climate water balance and soil moisture sensors, as well as monitoring plant growth, surface coverage detection. The project recently organized a workshop on optimal production of medicinal and aromatic plants in Albania, where the automated irrigation system was presented and promoted. The event brought together local farmers, university academics, and researchers, facilitating a productive exchange of ideas and encouraging the adoption of the CPS and other modern cultivation techniques in Albania. Through this collaborative effort, Albamap aims to significantly enhance the production and quality of medicinal and aromatic plants in this country, benefiting both the local economy and the global market. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for this presentation. I think the presenter is not online. So I would suggest we directly continue. The next one is Gleftis Ardini. And I think you're online, but we didn't receive, or we only received a audio from you. So would you be able to share your poster here and present it? Maybe you can quickly answer. Can you hear us, Gleftis? Because if not, we have to continue. Das ist eigentlich, the next presentation would be Gleftis Ardini. We only received the audio. Yeah. Can you unmute here? Yeah. You can ask her. Well, then I suggest we continue, and then maybe we can hear your presentation in the end. So I would directly switch to Salom Noh. And their presentation.
Hello, thank you for joining this session. The presentation is on strategies for implementing gender transformative sustainable agricultural mechanization within smallholder agricultural production. I'm Salom Doflo, and my colleague is Dr. Nkandawiri. Smallholder farmers produce most of the food that we eat worldwide, and they do this using labor-intensive methods, which can be alleviated through sustainable agricultural methods. But then, because of the gender norms within communities, access to some of these equipment are not equitable. Hence, our work is looking at methods by which we can ensure equitable access to machinery. We use both qualitative and quantitative data collected from smallholder farmers in Asuchari for this study. And the data analysis we did reveal that there was marginal difference between machinery used for male and female farmers. And in some instances, female farmers use more machinery than male farmers. And this shows that if we can ensure equitable access to machinery, we can improve machinery use within these farming communities. Gender Transformative Sustainable Agricultural Mechanization, or GTSAM, says that we want to ensure scale-appropriate machinery is provided to farmers. There is gender equality in access to machinery. The machines are socioculturally sound, and they are economically viable. And the strategies that we are proposing are effective research, capacity development for all stakeholders, and then community engagement to ensure buy-in from the community, and also long-term financing to ensure that the activities that we are proposing can be carried out over a long period of time. Our study also offered policy recommendations that provide training for extension agents in gender transformative approaches, offer seed funding through policy initiatives to encourage commercial banks to develop products that promote equitable access to machinery, and then offer incentives to researchers to study and develop innovative gender transformative approaches to sustainable mechanization. With this, we believe we can improve upon gender transformative sustainable agricultural methods introduced into agricultural production. Finally, further information can be found on the presentation at the FSNet Africa website, as well as the references below. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for sharing this presentation. I think we also have Salom Dovlo online, so I'm happy to receive questions from our audience. Is there any question online?
Thank you so much for your presentation. I saw in the graph that you presented that the differences you found between men and women's involvement in mechanization seem to have been quite similar. Could you say something about that? Did you observe any other gender differences in your research? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question and the opportunity to clarify some. So the differences we saw was that I think for most of the activities that the farmers were doing, we realized that the women were more interested in using machinery for most of the activities on their field. Hence, the marginal differences we see for the activities that were shown on the graph. And hitherto going to the field, the perception is that the male farmers are the ones using the machine. But then what we also realize from that is that it's actually the male farmers who are the operators, and they offer the services. Hence, the perception that the male farmers use machines more. But then when you go onto the field and interview the farmers, you realize that the female farmers are more prone to get the services of the male farmers to use the machine for their activities that they have to engage in. And this also offers an opportunity in terms of providing gender transformative methods where women farmers can also be, or female operators can be trained to ensure that there is a more and wider adoption and equitable use of machinery within this community. So that's the explanation on the marginal differences that I was saying. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for your clarification. So I suggest we to continue with the next contribution from Pedro Vaca Costa. And I will share the screen. Yeah. Now. This one.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our presentation, which is entitled Conflict Dynamics and Opportunities for Rural Women's Associativity under Agroecological Production Schemes in Nariño, Colombia. My name is Jason Rodriguez, and I represent a team of the Bonuco Research Center at the Colombian Corporation for Agricultural Research, Agrosavia. The female play an important role in rural areas, more specifically in production, provision, care, and administration of food for the family. This happens in Colombia, and more specifically in the Nariño department, where women are experiencing vulnerability due to social factors affecting food production, marketing, self-consumption, and collective action. Therefore, this study was carried out in the district of Obonuco, which belongs to the municipality of Pasto in the Nariño department, located in the southwest of Colombia. This study aims to analyze the implementation of a project focused on strengthening the food and nutritional security of rural women in Obonuco, Pasto, Nariño, where sustainable technologies were adopted to promote clean and healthy crop production. This project was developed with two associations of rural women, 25 members each, who they experienced changes in teamwork, dynamics, commitment, and communication. They had the possibility to establish their own agroecological gardens by adopting sustainable technologies in reduced spaces. With the harvest of these products, they established local farmer markets to commercialize their products and also create awareness for healthy eating and different strategies for self-consumption. As a result, we can see on the left side the planning and establishment of the agroecological garden, as well as the promotion of the local farmer markets. On the right side, we can see the list of the different species that they established. During the execution of the project, we conduct a SWOT analysis, and we can see here the strengths that the rural farmers had experience in implementing collaborative projects, clean food production system implementation, extensive organic farming knowledge. As opportunities, they create a short marketing circuits during the project, and they change the consumer trends towards healthy products. Weaknesses, they have a lack of association, lack in water use conflicts, lack of trust in teamwork, resistance of some women to sharing ancestral knowledge, and as a threat, we analyze the food shortages, loss in land due to city expansion, increased conflicts in between the two communities over access to natural resources. In conclusion, collective action can be an opportunity to make this community more resilient to food and nutritional insecurity. Women farmers and customers demonstrate mutual benefits from local products. And also, it's necessary in future projects or future research to study conflict resolution to develop strategies that improve collective action. Thank you very much for your attention. Danke, gracias.
Thank you so much for this presentation. And also our presenter is online. So are there questions from the audience? If not, I was actually wondering, you were talking about sustainable technologies that were introduced. Could you please maybe clarify what this includes?
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, thank you for this question. Can you hear me? Can you hear me over there?
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. So our research center is called Obonuco. It's located in the southwest of Colombia, and we developed some sustainable technologies that like biological control, also good organic practices for agriculture and agroecology, organic fertilizers, and these kind of practices. This is what this is where we meant about sustainable practices or sustainable technologies.
Thank you so much for answering. I would have more questions, but I think you have to continue due to time reasons. So our next presenter, Rashida Sibila, didn't send us our contributions. So we have Toranira Moriyuki. And I will share. Let's close the play.
Hello everyone, my name is Dronera. Together with my co-authors, I welcome you to our poster on circular production system in coconut value chain, focusing on the actor roles, linkages, and constraints in Kilifi County, Kenya. In the coconut value chain, significant waste is generated during production, distribution, and processing and consumption. This waste is often mismanaged, leading to environmental pollution. However, adapting circular economy model can help mitigate these issues by turning waste into very valuable resources. The study aimed to identify the key actors in the coconut value chain, analyze their roles and linkages, assess how these actors influence transition to a circular economy. The study was conducted in Kilifi County using social network analysis tool called NetMap to gather data. We mapped relation between stakeholders and analyzed the result using Usenet software for centrality and influence measures. The results we identified 21 key stakeholders who influence the coconut value chain adoption of circular economy, including the identified stakeholders who are the Ministry of Agriculture in the country, the National Coconut Development Authority, that's NOCD of Kenya, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, Farmers Cooperative. These actors are engaging promoting circular economy practices at various nodes of the value chain. The perceived benefit of adopting circular economy that were identified by the stakeholders were it helps reduce the environmental pollution, improving soil fertility, and creating economic opportunities. However, the main challenges that hinder the adoption of circular economy in the coconut value chain are lack of expertise, limited access to finance, and weak knowledge and sharing mechanisms. To a conclusion, to advance these circular economy practices in the coconut value chain, we recommend for forming inclusive farmer cooperatives, improving access to finance, and implementing supportive policies, and strengthening partnerships among all value chain actors.
Before this presentation, I think we have the presenter online. So maybe there are questions to Loranira. Any question? Not. Thank you very much for this interesting study, and I would suggest we continue with Masoud. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Sure, we will put you in the end. So I just finished my list, and then I will. You can present. Thank you so much for clarifying. So now I will share the presentation of Masoud first.
In the name of God, and hello everyone. I'm here to present my paper that is about the assessing farmers' readiness to embrace online social network as educational tools based on TRA or Technology Readiness Index. Online social network as a basic tools for communication and information transfer can be useful as educational tool, facilitating the adoption of new technologies, empowering farmers to deal with the global crises like climate change, and the end has a potential to promote behavior change by reducing physical distance and isolation, allows for long-term participation in development program, potentially improving citizen social capital. But what is the problem? Although the online social networks offers much any benefits for farmers, their usage in agriculture education and their adoption as an information obtaining tools among smallholder farmers remains largely unexplored and limited, especially in developing countries. A few researchers looking at the factors that influence farmers' willingness to adopt social network for educational purpose in agriculture. Thus, the objective of this study is to explore the readiness of farmers in southwestern Iran towards social media as tool to improve their agriculture education and answer a question: which factors affect the farmer's readiness to access social media based on TRA or Technology Readiness Index. As you see in this map, Iran is a big country, and the Khuzestan is one of the biggest region and strategic region culture and in agriculture in this country, and that can protect the food security in this country. So the farmer are so important in this country. According to the TRA or Technology Readiness Index, research hypotheses are proposed as follows. Optimism will positively affect technology readiness. Innovativeness will positively affect technology readiness, but discomfort and insecurity will negatively affect the technology readiness. The result reveals that the optimism and innovativeness had a positive and significant impact on technology readiness, while lack of the comfort had a negative and significant effect on the farmer readiness to use social networks for educational and promotional purpose. Collectively, these variables accounted for 45% of variance in readiness. Notably, the variable of insecurity did not exhibit a significant effect on technology readiness. While this is, and I must note that while this study is insightful, it does have a few limitations. It was conducted using a correlation method, which means that it cannot establish a causal relationship. To address this issue, future research should use experimental methods. Thanks so much for attention, and I will be happy if I receive your email about your question, and this is my email. Thanks so much. Have a good time. Bye.
Oh, I think the presenter is not in the audience. Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Cool. So in this case, I'm happy to forward the question from the audience to you.
Yeah, thank you for this presentation. Very interesting. I have two questions. The first one being, how did you select the variables? Why did you take the points the elements you analyzed, why did you take them into account? And then the second question, I'm curious to understand what is meant by lack of concrete. Thank you.
Can you hear us? Nasu. Can you unmute? Did you understand the questions?
I'm here.
I will hear you. Yeah, great.
Thanks so much for your attention. It's a interesting question, and the first time that I think that about, and now I answer about the this question. I need more time to search about to answer this question. Thanks so much for attention.
Thank you. So we have our next presentation is Emmanuel Letter. I will share screen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Manuel Leta. Welcome to our poster presentation on gender equality attitudes of men and women affect women's economic empowerment. Women's economic empowerment is crucial for sustainable development, yet women in low and middle income countries often face this empowerment, partly due to gender attitudes. These attitudes, which shape individuals' behavior and perceptions of gender roles in both public and private spheres, can be either traditional or egalitarian in nature. Traditional attitudes support distinct roles for men and women, while egalitarian attitudes advocate for equal capabilities and responsibilities. Previous research on gender egalitarian attitudes and women's economic empowerment has yielded mixed results, often focusing on labor market outcomes and seldom examining attitudes within couples. This study sought out to, 1, determine attitudes of men and women towards gender equality. 2, assess the relationship between these attitudes and women's economic empowerment, measured by women's time spent on market and unpaid work. To address these research objectives, we utilized 2017/18 Uganda time use data from 870 couples. We constructed a composite index on gender equality attitudes based on individuals' responses to gender equality questions rather, using principal component analysis. We then estimated the relationship between gender equality attitudes and women's economic empowerment using instrumental variable multivariate Tobit module. The results reveal that both men and women have low scores on the composite index equality, or on the composite gender equality index, indicating generally low attitudes towards gender equality. However, women score higher, suggesting they are more gender egalitarian than women. This we can see on table 1. Analysis of the daily time allocation across market work, unpaid work, and other activities shows that men spend twice as much time on market work as women, while women spend 4 times as much time on unpaid work compared to men, as shown on figure 1. Additionally, gender egalitarian attitudes in couples are positively associated with the time spent by women in market work and negatively associated with the time spent by women in unpaid work. I must mention that unpaid work includes the care work and domestic work, while market work includes wage or salaried employment, self-employment, and farming. In conclusion, 1, couples generally have low attitudes towards gender equality. 2, high levels of gender egalitarianism are associated with women spending more time on market work and less on unpaid work. Therefore, increasing awareness on gender egalitarianism will improve women's economic empowerment. Thank you, and I look forward to questions or comments.
Thank you. And the presenter is also in the audience. So there is the opportunity to ask questions.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. I have 2 questions. The first one being, did I see correctly in the table that education has a much stronger effect? And if so, how do you conceive the link between the woman's education and the woman's gender attitudes? That's question 1. The second question is, I work for an NGO, and do you have recommendations for NGOs and development practitioners stemming from your research?
Did you hear the question? Can directly answer, Emmanuel. I think we cannot hear you yet.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. I hope I am audible enough. I missed the last bit of the first question, but I will answer the second one. Regarding a recommendation for NGOs, like I stated, I kind of stated in the conclusion, much of the law attitude about equality is like more to do with the awareness. So we really recommend that whoever is implementing a program which is targeting women's economic empowerment should also incorporate awareness about equality. Should actually incorporate a component on attitude change of all the stakeholders, particularly if it's in a couple setting, to try to improve people's attitudes on equality. The parts on education, I think I missed that. I didn't hear it well.
Yeah, thanks already for that first answer. The first question was on the relationship between education and gender attitudes, because in your table, if I saw it correctly, the education effect was much stronger than the attitudes effect. And if so, if I read that correctly, is there a link between the two?
Education and attitude, I have not tested the link directly, but we tried to split the data into the different categories of education level, either primary, secondary, or tertiary, to see if those with different levels of education like respond, can like have different effect on the time women spend in market work and unpaid work. So we did not see that coming out strongly. So it's like which suggests that in this study there is likely not so strong link between education and the education and attitude. However, in some studies, you see that linkage is there. So I could say, since norms, which more or less determine attitudes, are context specific, so it's likely that the norms in Ugandan setting are kind of different from the norms in the other countries where you see a linkage between education and attitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. We have one more very short question. So maybe just keep your answer very short and then
I was curious to hear more about the process of setting up this composite index for gender attitudes and egalitarianism, and how you selected those indicators, and any reflections on the process.
Unfortunately, I haven't picked that question very well. It didn't come out clearly. So, sorry.
Yeah, and I was curious about the composite index that you put together for gender equality, what kind of indicators you looked at and how you chose them.
Yes, the indicators in the index are the responses are the perceptions that men and women have to, in terms of the different roles. For example, in household setting, like women are more to do like caregivers. So what do people perceive about women having a major role in looking after children or looking after elders in the home? So both in home setting, household and also work environment, mostly formal work. So we have a number of questions in those two spheres.
Thank you so much for answering. We have to continue, and we have 2 more presentations left. And I will continue with the next one.
Hello, my name is Viviana Narvaez. Today I will share with you the participatory research for co-creation with women coffee producers, which we carried out in 2 departments of Colombia, namely Cauca and Quindío. In Colombia, 30% of coffee production is led by women. There is important gender inequality in participation, representation, and in the administration of income in their productive units. They face barriers in assessing technological research and information. The over climate and production challenge, accurate yield prediction models currently don't exist. In order to technology could create with women to make decisions about their coffee growth through the power of data. Women coffee grows, 520 women coffee grows belonging to Coffee Association, Asociación de Mujeres Caficultoras del Cauca MUC, and Chaporeras of Quindío. The activities are diagnosis of social and productive condition of women, conducting focus group discussion to transfer knowledge, taking photographs and sharing of actual yield data for validation, designing the field data collection protocol in women's coffee production fields, and technological team collection of secondary information, mainly on coffee production and processing, creation of the algorithm through the incorporation of artificial intelligence to quantify coffee cherries from mobile pictures, development of the app to create a user-friendly interface for collecting required pictures and proving an accurate state estimate of their apps in real time, validation of technology in women's coffee fields. This research and development process took place over 18 months. Is a result of the participatory work carried out jointly by women coffee growers and research. The Coffee Agricultura technology was obtained a digital application that used photographies of crops in production to provide small-scale women coffee growers with real-time predictions of the estimated coffee yield, which I product agricultural advice possibility of employing women in the commercial process of their coffee. Plus conclusions. Technologies are an alternative to promote the social and economic empowerment of rural coffee growing women through their inclusion in the value chain. The design of technologies with and for small coffee farmers allows for greater social appropriation of that technology in the production process. Croppy closed the note led that for smallholder farmers might have limited access of information on extension service of their localized recommendation based of a scientific research. Thank you.
I think the presenters of this research are not online. So I would now ask Gladys Hardini to present. I think you should be able to share your screen. Anna. We will make you co-host so you can share your screen.
Okay, hello all.
Okay. I enabled you as a co-host so you can.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Authors, I with co-authors welcome you to our poster presentation titled Map Production in Albania, Traditional Cultivation and Challenges for Sage and Lemon Vine. The main goal is providing a conscious overview of the medicinal and aromatic plant production in Albania, focusing on the cultivation and challenges related to sage and lemon vine. Key topics included field preparation, irrigation, fertilization, harvesting, and processing, and the challenges that farmers. Albania is a key player in the global market for medicinal and aromatic plants, ranking as the 6th largest supplier in the world. Approximately 95% of Albania's map production is exported to international markets, supporting around 20,000 families. Two of the most important plants cultivated in Albania are sage and lemon vine. These plants have significant medicinal properties and are in high demand internationally. In field preparation, the result are that the farmers are small-scale farmers, cultivated area between 0.5 to 5 hectares. Planting distance between lemon vine plants are 60 centimeters, and between sage plants are the distance is 30 centimeters. There is a low level of mechanization, plowing, and weed removal. To continue with irrigation, irrigation planting is done without any sensors or planting systems. No irrigation control units are used, and drip irrigation is dominant to 28 farmers, and only 2 use sprinkle irrigation. To continue with fertilization, organic fertilizer is applied at the beginning of the season, and it is believed that soils are naturally rich in phosphorus and nitrogen. To continue with purchasing and marketing, herbs are dried under simple conditions, minor quality due to production and purchasing, and 28 farmers sell their product to foreign markets. Only 2 sell their products in Albania, like tea. To conclude, low level of mechanization, not appropriate irrigation planning, lack of proper drying and storage facilities lead to a reduction in yield and quality of maps. Since the price is not linked to quality of sage, a reduction in quality, it is not a big concern for cultivators. However, to sell the dried product at higher price in the international market, focus should be on the quality of maps. We want to thank the MPF for the financial support of our project. Thank you all for your attention. I hope this presentation has provided valuable insight into the current state of medicinal plant production in Albania. Thank you.
Thank you for this presentation.
Thank you for attention.
Is there any question from the audience? We have time for one question. If not, I want to say thank you to all the presenters for sharing this research. It was super interesting. And thanks for everyone else to join. And with this, I would close the session. Thank you so much.